bridging the gap and getting people out of your own echo chamber is uncomfortable. It should be uncomfortable. It's why the alphabet mafia, it's why the Gestapo, it's why modern progressives cannot live in reality. This is why we fight. This is why we are here. Well, also obviously to make you laugh and to,
Oh, and you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that today.
Well, there's some stuff in here.
Sometimes people think it's funny when I get furious.
Well, that is
I don't.
a little.
It's like, all I have to, I feel like Nightcrawler. Oh, all I have to do is go through the portal of hell to teleport? Well, wonderful. I'm glad everyone else gets to reap the benefits. All right. So we're going to cover Libs of TikTok not later. We're going to cover it immediately.
Very quickly.
But before that, because of course now the whole reason for this is the media wants to put you on edge. They want you to be afraid to now feature Libs of TikTok. They want you to be afraid. They want you to put distance between yourself and Libs of TikTok. Hey, do you know where that happened before, by the way? Little historical context. Can we bring that up? Andrew Breitbart. Andrew Breitbart. I sat under the tutelage of that guy. That guy did the Acorn sting. He orchestrated it with Hannah Giles and James O'Keefe. And he was everywhere, all over Fox News, all over media. And then something happened with Shirley Sherrod, where Bill O'Reilly took a clip out of context and blamed Andrew Breitbart for selectively editing it. He never did. He was persona non grata at all of conservative media until he actually hijacked Anthony Weiner's podium, because the media was ready to say that Andrew Breitbart was faking pictures of his dick. Weiner's dick. Weiner's wiener.
Wiener, yeah.
Yes. And Andrew Breitbart actually hijacked the podium at Anthony Weiner's press conference, where he was about to go out there and say there are these right-wing smear campaigns being lobbed against me. And guess what? The media was just ready with their notepads to eat it up. And I remember Andrew Breitbart, he was going through, and there are stories about this. You could hear people yelling. I believe it was at a hotel. I don't know where it was.
Yeah,
I don't know if it was the Omni. You could hear them say, Andrew Breitbart's in the building. And only after that, he had to claw his way back, was he allowed back in the good graces of conservatives. Probably the most effective and the most influential conservative of our time. And he was taken from us far too young. Everyone turned their back on him. I was there for it. I watched it. I watched him go through hell. And it was hell that he never deserved for a mistake he never made. I don't want to see that happen again. That's why we're here. So, while they want us to create distance between ourselves and Libs of TikTok, let's do a quick watch and react today of this beautiful, brave person telling us why we are not allowed to define women.
Here is Madison Cawthorn's definition of a woman.
Guys, I'm gay.
X chromosomes, no tallywhacker. And this gives me a chance to talk about biological essentialism.
Biological essentialism, a new made-up term.
First of all, it's not true. People have all kinds of chromosomes and all kinds of bodies. Women who've had hysterectomies, people born with certain conditions, but that's almost immaterial. Number two.
What are you doing in my house?
It is a system of oppression. Gender is a hierarchy and a system of oppression.
And you're at the top because you're just a white dude.
The easier it is to define gender, the easier it is to keep the oppression going.
Oh, yeah.
It's dangerous.
Oh, this is what they always do, is the victim thing. And we'll talk about that a little bit. First off, take off the lipstick. Take off the lipstick and the little Charlie Brown curl. If you saw that neck and you were a doctor, you would say, you are grossly unhealthy. You are so underweight, it's dangerous. That's basically a walking sinew with a chin. But because now we have to deny science and deny biology, we go, oh, no, that's perfectly fine. If you saw an average straight white male that thin, you would know it's unhealthy. But we abandon all reason at the door.
Yeah, absolutely. And we just did what Libs of TikTok does. They let you display you.
Exactly.
We didn't do anything there.
The laziest
I was
lady
offended
I've
by
ever
the beard, I guess, but...
What's a beard and lipstick? And it's like, why are you're not trying.
Oh, okay. You're committed, huh?
I mean, I just don't even know how you include it at that point. I guess it's just under queer. By the way, queer could just be a straight guy who occasionally likes wearing rouge.
Is that?
What's the pussy act going to be next time? It's just a flaccid penis with eyeshadow? I don't know how this works.
Yes.
And that's a good point. We'll talk about that too. Libs of TikTok. What are they guilty of? Let me first set the stage. This happened with us. This has happened many times. We were fortunate enough to only be demonetized. That's why Mug Club matters so much. We are actually funded by viewers like you, not federal grants or a foreign caliphate. Here's what happens. Nonprofit is used. Usually Media Matters.
Yeah.
They do the dirty work. They put together a hit piece. They put together a highlight reel. This is what happened with us exactly. Then they get legitimized by a mainstream outlet like Washington Post, like NBC, which is what happened with us. And then social media allows it to trend, gives it the right of way, trending everywhere, algorithmically selecting which content you see, and then they aim to cancel you, deplatform you. Let's be clear when we say cancel, remove your livelihood.
Yeah.
From the public square. And this is what they do. Nonprofit, Media Matters highlight reel. Legitimize it through some legacy media outlet. Social media lets it trend. Boom, canceled. That is the order always. There's some variation therein. Maybe a different person does the reel. Maybe a different outlet posts it. But this is how it works. And the reason they're doing this with Libs of TikTok, just to be clear, before we get to anything else, you know what their sin is, Libs of TikTok? Is doing exactly what you say you want. And by you, I mean everybody. Everyone says we're all in our own echo chambers now. We all just, we only see the content that we want to see. What does Libs of TikTok do? They take content from the crazy alphabet blogosphere and TikTok world, unedited. They don't change the context, and then they make it available to people who don't live in that carnival tent. And when people say, hey, this is crazy, as they react to it because they're not in their own ecosphere, so you can't call us crazy, and now they're the victim. And they want to remove the people who are bridging that gap. Hey, bridging the gap and getting people out of your own echo chamber is uncomfortable. It should be uncomfortable. It's why the alphabet mafia, it's why the Gestapo, it's why modern progressives cannot live in reality. You can't handle the criticism. You remove people who do it. There isn't even any commentary. They're just posting their own stuff.
Well, you might as well just get mad that you looked in a mirror.
Well, I'm sure
That's all they did.
Let me sort of set the stage here a little bit. I've already set the stage. Let me explain to you what's going on. So this story, a hit piece in the Washington Post. Oh, and by the way, never mind. Let me get to this clip first so that you know what we're dealing with.
So much here.
It was written by a professionally useless person, Taylor Lorenz. Now, Taylor Lorenz, in case you don't remember, recently made news on MSNBC for the Cry Fest about people doing exactly what it is that she does here, only worse, for a living. Here's a refresher.
I had severe PTSD from this. I contemplated suicide. It got really bad. You feel like any little piece of information that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
And terrifying.
It's horrifying. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
It's overwhelming. It's really hard.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, that last part when she said, and terrifying, and you went back to her and she's like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, look, in my opinion,
I think it seemed as very sincere.
Yes.
It was very Oscar-worthy.
Yes.
Can we
The
play it
acting
again?
you might see on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
I want the audience to clue on something. When they go to the reporter and she says, and terrifying, I think that's what she said. When it goes back, just watch her face and her reaction.
This is
Again,
just our opinion.
I have no idea.
That it seems fake as shit.
Yeah. The lack of tears and emotion is why.
Yes. These are generally signs
Of crime.
of some kind of grieving.
Yes.
Yeah, fair.
Perhaps being upset,
rattled.
rattled,
Yeah.
Just
shaken.
Let's see.
Piece of information
not stirred.
that gets out on you will be used by the worst people on the internet to destroy your life. And it's so isolating.
Right after
And
this.
terrifying.
It's horrifying.
Looks like that was an edit.
I'm so sorry.
That right there.
Yeah,
It's
look.
overwhelming.
Is that
Okay.
It's really hard.
Guys,
I'm not saying she's not sad and not broken up about this. I'm saying that moment right there seemed not to
Here's the
match.
thing, and this is also one thing too. Women don't understand this. Well, a lot of women do. These women don't. When I say I mean these women. If a guy does that, if a guy fake cries, we lose friends.
I would quit. I would quit the show.
Yes.
Right now, we
rightfully
walk
so.
out. Yes.
It's unacceptable.
It's terrifying and overwhelming. Do you mean like a crazy journalist showing up at the house of your relatives?
Well, it's amazing that she would do the same thing if it's so offensive and sad.
I think we're looking for overlay 04. No, he's so entranced.
He is definitely entranced. The picture.
Well, I think
Do we have
he's
the
just-
picture of them showing up at the house?
there we go.
He's trying
right
to figure
there.
out how Meryl Streep
Yes.
was able to pull off.
So it's interesting. Libs of TikTok, they sent this out earlier. It's like, So you hate it when people do that?
Yeah, exactly.
And by the way, this wasn't years ago. This was what, a couple of weeks ago that she went on, like the beginning of April.
Yeah, this is in the piece, Washington Post. By the way, all references available at loudwithcrowder.com. See, look, we kind of do the same thing. That's why I feel a brother/sisterhood with Libs of TikTok. They're just showing you what should be publicly available or already is. We make all of our references available. What other programs do? They don't. Then they try and criticize the fact that we do. Well, we're using Washington Post today. How about that? Now what are you going to do? They went to, and I don't know exactly who went, it's not clear, someone associated with the Washington Post piece went to the house of the
so
lady of Libs of TikTok and also called the family members.
Right. So Libs of TikTok account was saying that was her. Like, hi, Taylor, which one of my family members' houses did you like going to the most or harassing, right? You can read the tweet right there. So that's their assertion, is that is her.
Yeah.
Going to relatives' houses.
If they showed up at my house on my property, I would smack that mask back and watch them Charlie Brown roll.
Oh, I would just be taking the batteries out of my ring so fun things could happen.
Yes.
Yes, I'll let you in just 1 second.
Yeah, just hang on. There's a little problem here with the wiring.
Turn off the cameras.
The door would just open like a haunted house.
Yes.
Let's set the Epstein stage real quick.
And I'd be really coy about it. Like I'd put on the table, I'd put on the table like a vegan spread.
Yes. Can I get you anything? Cheese,
I have
crackers,
more masks.
handcuffed to a radiator.
Yeah.
Some wine.
New AirPod Pros? Yes, they're right down there in the basement.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Go down to the wine cellar. There's new AirPod Pros down there.
Go. Keep going.
So, look, this is also something we had this with Vox. We had this with NBC Universal. It was never about some LGBTQ AIP Latin American. Fair enough?
Yeah.
It was about one of the biggest media conglomerates in the world trying to remove competition. And what do? Is they always start with someone is the victim. If Lorenz is not a victim, well, then people aren't as sympathetic because it's a basic white woman. So, at least appears to be. I don't know. I'm going by the eyeball test. Now, same thing happened with Fox, NBC Universal. Look at this person. How could you bully this person?
Right.
Look at Lorenz. How could Libs of TikTok? No, this is someone who has the backing of Washington Post, owned by Jeff Bezos, by the way, one of the richest men in the world who is pro-censorship on the record.
Sorry, I don't have a cough button.
Bless you.
I just
going after an independent platform.
It's a real sneeze on like her.
I know. if you were her, you'd be like,
chill.
It's terrifying.
She'd do like the. She'd be going like. She'd be like wait, are you just doing Snow White sneezing? No.
Someone else's finger would come in.
Yes. And it would relieve it.
Sorry, everyone. I apologize. Bless me.
This Taylor Lorenz has a long history, by the way, of playing victim. This is the playbook. Let's bring this up. For example, she deleted this post, but bemoaned, for International Women's Day, please consider supporting women enduring online harassment. It's not an exaggeration to say that the harassment and smear campaign I've had to endure over the years has destroyed my life. I can't believe that people have said mean things. Look, no one should send death threats to anybody.
Agreed.
Just like no one should show up at someone's doorstep. No one should be harassing their family members. It's destroyed my life. Really? Has it destroyed your life? Well, then why are you destroying someone else's or attempting to? We're gonna get the troops as rallied as we possibly can. Don't play victim here, sweetheart. You entered the arena.
Oh, and we know that liberals would never send a death threat to any of us.
No,
a bunch
never.
of times.
It's not like when we were in Detroit, we had to have security that would put Suge Knight's crew to shame.
Oh, well, not to mention the threats sent to the venue.
Yes. The good thing is, since we don't do just free shows, with a nonprofit, people actually purchase tickets. Well, guess what? That also kind of keeps the libs at bay because they don't want to pay for tickets.
No,
also, any slightly cold temperature seems to change how hard they're willing to go.
Yes, exactly. So here's the thing. She says it's destroyed my life, the online harassment.
Yeah.
Taylor Lorenz has made her entire career by looking through social media posts. And I hate the word cancel because it's not heavy enough. And trying to remove people's livelihoods because of it. Wars have been fought for less. It's why I always get mad when they say, give the land back to Native Americans. Which tribe? They were warring over land. Why? So that they could either forage, depending if they were nomadic or depending if they were sedentary at that point. They could basically live off of that land. They were fighting over resources. Guess what? That's your livelihood. Just change a bow and arrow. with an iPhone screen. And this is going to really piss you off because people know that I can't be bought, sold, or reasoned with when it comes to this. There's nothing you can do that's going to stop this freight train coming your way, Lorenz. So she attempted to cancel this tech entrepreneur, a guy named Mark Andreessen. I don't know how it's pronounced exactly. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. It's not at the top of my priority list today. Now deleted posts, so she tweeted, she said that this guy, Mark, just openly using the R slur on Clubhouse, very poorly written grammatically, in case you're saying, why am I getting confused? It doesn't really make a whole, and it took me a while. I was like, R slur, retarded.
Well, she's a writer for the New York Times.
Right. Just openly using the R slur on Clubhouse tonight, and not one other person in the room called him on it or saying anything. You're a professional writer, A, and B, shut up. How about that? Maybe people didn't call them on it because people aren't hyperly sensitive professional victims like yourself. Or retarded.
He was just asking you to move.
Yes. He shouldn't have said the R word, say what?
Yes, that's true.
That was childish.
Then she kept saying what?
Yeah, I know. Well, you know what? It works. That's the problem. That's why he keeps doing it. So, in reality, the guy never even used the slur. Right? So all Lorenz did was what? This is after she tried to destroy the man's career. Yeah. Offer this sort of half-assed retraction. Many heard Mark's voice saying the R word because it was male. At 4:05, talking about a time code in the audio, in it you can hear Ben say, Alex, maybe you could take us through the retarded revolution. I hope everyone who uses this word can think more carefully about why blah, 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 blah. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. It's like, I shot the wrong guy, but this guy robbed a bank.
I hope we can all think.
I'm kind of retarded.
You're the one who committed the misdeed. And I love how, by the way, it says R word because it was male. So all males sound alike? Now, to be fair, all screeching fake whiners sound alike to me. So you blend.
I just think she's a sociopath and she's trying to cover her tracks before and after.
Yeah.
That's all she is.
Absolutely right.
It's pathetic.
No, this is sociopathic behavior. Someone who only makes their living trying to destroy others. And I say, comedian. Listen, it's very different to make fun of things as part of a show that provides solutions and references and sketches. This is all she does, and she's funded by the ultra-wealthy billionaire class to do it. By the way, the class of a dying media. Again, the pattern is nonprofit highlight reel, hit piece, legitimized by mainstream media. That's why they want to have professional fact checkers. That's why you have Jen Psaki, and you have this administration saying, we would love to see more people put more fact checks on these pieces of content that's misinformation that's leaning online. So nonprofit hit piece, legitimized by mainstream media. Social media gives it the right of way. Doesn't require a conspiracy to see that they're all working together. We need to start helping our own and supporting our own and hiring our own. That's why we have the Golden Sweepstakes where we hire people. That's why we develop strategic partnerships. Hey, that's why nothing would make me happier than to watch all of this, meaning social media, meaning their stranglehold information, burn to the ground. I would love it if all of you right now switch from YouTube to Rumble, or switch from YouTube to Rumble or Mug Club.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would love it if you did. The problem is, a lot of you don't. And a lot of us are complacent where we can't be bothered to hit open tab. And then we bitch about why no one is leaning in, why no one is filling that gap. Guess what? People are.
Yeah.
People are. This is also something that happens a lot with us. Like, why is there no right-leaning alternative to when they name the late night shows? Like, well, you're watching it.
Yeah.
You're watching it. What, do you mean something on NBC, ABC? They're never going to let you in. Stop trying to co-opt institutions. We are needing to create our own, and that's what we're trying to do here so that we can have an umbrella of protection for people like Libs of TikTok, for people like Kyle Rittenhouse, who never would have been able to say the kinds of things that he said, even on conservative-leaning traditional media. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue with this. Taylor Lorenz. The accusation that she's making. She, I don't want to misgender her. She, what are your preferred pronouns, Lorenz?
Oh, that's a good question.
Wine win? I have no idea.
Crying.
Z accuses Libs of TikTok of leaning hard, quote, leaning hard into groomer discourse. So here you go. In this little tweet, this clip, Libs of TikTok literally quoted the teacher.
Babies are born, the doctor looks at them, and they make a guess about whether the baby is a boy or a girl.
How do they make that guess?
Based on what they look like. And most of the time, that guess is 100% correct. There are no issues whatsoever. But sometimes the doctor is wrong. The doctor makes an incorrect guess.
It's the worst
Everything that guy
doctor
just
ever.
said is bullshit.
Yeah. No, this is. Wait, what happened? Are you a biologist? That's a public school teacher, the lowest of the low. I'm sorry, real heroes.
That's true. Yes. Essential workers.
Yes, essential.
Can you imagine if
Not
it died
really,
like 20 years ago? I don't know.
That's just, I mean, what do you guys think?
Hey, it's got one of them thingies with balls. What do I say?
It's not just penis, it's weight. It's, I mean, these are, there's a lot that's taken into account. By the way, I had twins, okay? I've experienced this. And unlike the John Money twin study, which is, it is the centerpiece. It is the foundation for modern gender theory. The John Money twin study, where he raised one as a boy, one as a girl. They both died. One killed himself. I think the other was a drug overdose, or they both killed themselves. He sexually abused them, put them in sexually dominant positions. That's the basis for all of this that you're seeing out there. Let's be really clear about it. Yes, I would consider that grooming to try and tell children that doctors are wrong. Are you a biologist, people? And the other headlines shared by the account, by the way, speak for themselves with Libs of TikTok. They do a wonderful job of just bringing from one echo chamber, the crazy LGBTQ AAIP, their exact words, and just allowing you to see them so that you don't have to wander off into that dark soul-sucking chamber of the internet. So Lorenz herself isn't slimy enough, so she decided to quote Ari Drennan, the LGBTQ program director for the nonprofit Media Matters, who says in the piece, "It feels like Libs of TikTok single-handedly taking us back a decade in terms of the public discourse around LGBTQ rights." Hey, you know what? Again, since they post content in context unedited, I would say that the LGBTQ community is doing that. If this seems long, wait to the end.
Is that a grown-up thing to do, Congressman?
Congressman!
What?
Are you serious?
This is a school assembly.
That's like a science teacher.
Want to take a guess at the gender? Now, what if that were just a straight white woman?
Oh, man.
Her dad might have been there.
Try the fish thing for a day.
Polygender literally just means multiple genders or many genders. We live in a world where mainstream society has decided and agreed that there are two genders, and we call them male and female, or masculine and feminine, and they correspond with genitalia. But there are those of us who, regardless of what's going on with our bodies, identify with characteristics from either end of that spectrum or places in between that spectrum or even entirely outside of that spectrum.
Okay, a couple things. I love how this person says, first off, just so you remember, the left, the place, the alcove for people like the Dan Rathers, whose producers, maybe not him, forged documents, are upset that, of course, Libs of TikTok is taking the literary license of putting on a watermark. That's how transformative they are of the content. Just putting on their watermark. Oh my God, is that the hate speech? That it just says Libs of TikTok? Because that's all they're doing. Second, I love how that person says, regardless of what's going on with your body. Yeah. Oh, we can just do that. We can just take something that's real and say regardless of it, and then make something up like regardless of this bullet penetrating your ribcage. I don't believe that I shot him, Your Honor, and I should be free to go. Well, she said regardless. Fine. Z said regardless.
I love it. She's like, anywhere in the spectrum, and then and just in case, maybe outside of that spectrum, you come up with something completely all of your own.
We're not supposed to talk about retarded.
I just want to say that normally I think it's sad when dogs get euthanized.
Did they say congressman?
They did.
Sorry, I was holding that in for minutes. I had to let it out.
I think we should send them to China.
Congressman.
Yeah, that was a soundbite.
Excuse me.
Is that a grown-up thing to do, Congressman?
Excuse me, Congressman?
Yeah.
Don't bother me.
I'm in character.
Daniel, the congressman is Daniel Day-Lewising his sex dog slave role.
Yeah.
There's sex dog slaves in the movie Shivers when an STD alien takes them for a hotel, and that's a congressman. I can't get over this.
Hey. You watch your hate speech.
No, I would never. I'm saying it's sad.
No, but you just described it accurately. You have to say regardless, and then you're safe.
Oh, regardless.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now you got it.
Regardless.
Yeah, like I think it would be sad if the dogs were euthanized. That's what I was saying.
Well, yeah, never.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't, if my friend did that, I wouldn't be like, immediately take him to the pound and be like, he's 30. He's probably in a lot of pain.
Yeah. Regardless. But Libs of TikTok. How could you do this?
Oh, man,
They're showing you exactly what and we've had this happen too. Again, what did we do when we had the Vox apocalypse? Sorry about that. YouTube created what is known as the Crowder rule.
Oops.
And again, this is because we crossed our T's, dotted our I's. Very expensive in legal fees. Just so you know. We would provide long clips, rebut them, and say, by the way, go watch the full video. Yeah. Go watch it for its full context. We probably gave the videos we were rebutting more plays than they initially had because we want you to see the left for what it is. We want you to see the truth. Whether you agree with me, with Dave, with Gerald, with Toolman, with Token Out, with whoever it is, take your pick, or not, we absolutely do create a program. It's live. We provide the references publicly. We make ourselves, there's no possible way to be more transparent. What does this person do? Taylor Lorenz. What does Vox do? They hide behind a media nonprofit, some kind of one-way mainstream outlet, and let social media do the bidding.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.